So today was supposed to be a longer photo walk, but between traffic and finding a place to park, this is going to be a lot shorter than it was supposed to be, and a different location than it was supposed to be. So I had a different location chosen, but the parking and the traffic and everything just made it not feasible today. That's what happens sometimes in the city I live in. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I try to have a location plan B or plan C, and that's where I'm at now. I'm out with, I'll show you in a second, but I'm out with a X-T4, a second X-T4 I bought recently. I sold off a few things that I had before to get a second used X-T4 from camerawest.com. So I'm out with that. And the lens that I'm using is the Mitakon 35mm 0.95. It's relatively new to me lens. I've shot some with it, but this is the first time I've kind of been out in a street setting with it. The location I'm at doesn't have a ton of foot traffic, so there's not going to be a ton of like people watching, people type street photography. This is going to be a little bit of a scenic type shoot, maybe some lights because it's getting a little dark, it's cloudy, and it's getting the sun's going down. So maybe some lights, some scenery in that regard, some cool night photography. I'm going to shoot it in black and white, and then maybe edit the raws into with a cool color look later. I'll try to show you a little bit with video, but at the very least I'll have some photo samples, and then I will maybe do a wrap up. So this is where I'm at. I'm actually in downtown Henderson, the actual city I live in. I live in the Las Vegas area, but Henderson is the suburb I live in. I'm in the downtown area of Henderson, and it has some cool older buildings and some cool signs. There's a couple cool things that are always on my list when I come down here to shoot. One is that there's some cool light posts. The lamps on the light posts are really cool. They have a vintage vibe, although they're technically not that old. They have a vintage design to them. I don't think they're that old anyways, but they have a really cool look to them. And then just a lot of this area of Henderson has still the same structure that it's had for a very, very long time. Very few buildings are brand new. So a lot of things have a vibe of the 50s, 60s, especially since Henderson started in the 40s. And some of the buildings were built in the 40s and 50s in this area. So I always like to capture some of the vibe of the buildings because you never know how long they're going to be around. And like I said, at this time of the evening, some of the lampposts, some of the neon signs. There's a few classic actual neon signs down here, and then just the general vibe of the street and the area is what I like to capture. Like I said, I'm today's black and white with JPEGs, and I will probably edit a decent amount of these in black and white. A few might come out really nice in color, so I'm going to continue, and I'll check back in a second. So here is the X-T4 and the Mitakon 0.95. I'm probably almost done down here on Water Street. I don't know if I have a ton of frames, but I have a couple shots that should be good enough to make the trip worth it. Sometimes I get more shots than others each trip out, as I'm sure you know, as you experience with your shoots as well. Well, I really don't look at them until I get home, but the few shots I do hope came out are probably unique ones. Ones that would not be easy for me to get because, for one, the time of day, the time that it gets dark this time of year, it's very early, which gives the sunset. The sunset just has a unique look around this time. And although I didn't grab the sunset, I have that lingering light after the sunset goes down just past golden hour. Also,
there's a lot of clouds in the sky today, so although it's only been some sprinkles here and there, there's enough clouds to really reflect some street lights and to give some texture to the backgrounds of these shots. That's pretty rare. We have so many sunny days here. It's pretty rare to get days like that. And then lastly, the holiday decorations. Although I didn't highlight them in every shot, having a few shots with them in the background as part of the elements will make these shots pretty unique. And unless they come out again before next week, I won't have a chance to get that kind of look until next November. So there's a couple cool things I think I've got now here. I'm gonna walk around just a little bit more to see what else I can grab.